Hi there, my name is Kendrick and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, I'm going to talk about my country number 90 to visit every single country in the world, and that country is Uruguay. My time in Uruguay was relatively short. I was only there for 1 day, and it all started when I was in Argentina and I took the ferry going from Buenos Aires to Colonia in Uruguay. My goal was to explore Colonia for several hours and maybe even eat at some local restaurant before taking the bus to go to Montevideo to catch a flight out of the country to go to my next destination, which is Paraguay. Unfortunately for me, there was massive delays when taking the ferry going from Buenos Aires to Colonia in Uruguay, and the immigration process going from Argentina to Uruguay was also quite a pain because there was a lot of forms that I needed to fill out that I didn't realize I had to fill out online, so I had to do it on my cell phone. Unfortunately, the exit form that I had to fill out while I was in the Argentina side wasn't working, and it took me quite a while to figure out that the English version of the form doesn't work at all, and I had to go to the Spanish version for it to work. After completing the form and going through the Argentine side of the immigration, I went over to the Uruguay side and I asked them if they also had an extra form. This is when I first got a taste of what Uruguay people are like, and I would say that they like to joke around and are more laid back than the Argentines. Because the immigration guy started making fun of the Argentina side and saying, what is the point of having this form? Like, it has no purpose. As mentioned earlier, when we got to the ferry, there was a massive long delay. I think the delay was close to 3 hours long. And the delay was so long that by the time we got to Colonia, we didn't have as much time to explore as what we originally had planned. At least the ferry ride was pretty smooth and relatively comfortable. And when we got to Colonia, it looks like we only had about 1 hour to explore, and we made the best of it. We first bought some bus tickets at the bus stop to take us all the way to Montevideo. And soon after, we left our luggage at this local place where you can pay money to store your luggage, and off we went to start our adventure. While we were in Colonia, we decided to visit the Old Town, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Most of the ground on the floor was still made of cobblestones, and the buildings were from colonial times. It was a very pretty place, and we just spent some time taking some pictures, making some videos. While we were exploring the streets, we eventually came across this really friendly looking dog that was very nonchalant, and we took some time to hang out with the guy. Soon after, we finished our little adventure in Colonia, and off we were to the bus station to take us all the way to Montevideo. The bus ride was interesting because the bus would frequently stop to pick up passengers. So it wasn't like your typical long distance bus. It was like a hybrid of long distance bus that will also pick up passengers if they're available there and they're willing to pay for a ticket. When we got to Montevideo, we actually ended up in a mall where we grabbed a taxi to take us to our hotel. The first thing that we noticed though when we were in the mall was prices are no longer cheap. The prices were actually quite pricey compared to Argentina, because in Argentina, everything was quite cheap for tourists who changed their money in the blue market. So gone were the days that we were enjoying the carefree life of just spending money on any food that we want to eat. Now we have to be more budget conscious. This was further displayed to us by the time we arrived in our hotel. The drive to our hotel was relatively comfortable, and there was a nice view of the beach because Montevideo is by the beach. And our hotel, by the time we got there, the prices were quite high in terms of food. We're talking about $20 for a meal, which is quite a lot by South American standards. The only place that I remember that was charging quite a bit of money when it comes to food in South America was when I was in Brazil. I do think Chile's the same, but I haven't been there yet, so I can't say for sure yet. After eating an okay dinner that was overpriced, we woke up the next day and we made our way to the Montevideo airport, and to our surprise, the airport is actually very nice. Our taxi driver that took us there was also quite friendly, and he was okay with us paying in hybrid Uruguayan money as well as US dollars. The airport was very pristine. It was very modern. It was a very nice airport. Even the person working in the airport lounge, I think she was an American Uruguayan person because she had perfect English. Our flight did get delayed by the time we got to the airport, which is a bummer because we could have actually gotten more sleep if the flight left later. But otherwise, our experience in Uruguay was short and sweet, and I think I'm okay with the experience that I had there. I don't see any reason to go back, and that 1 day I spent there was more than enough. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and don't forget to sign up to our Travel and Live Free newsletter where you can get a 10-step cheat sheet on how to travel around the world. You'll also get the latest tips and strategies on how to save money on travel for Canadians, how to go on around the world adventure travel for Canadians, and how to use travel to get more freedom in your life as a Canadian. You can sign up for that newsletter in the description below. Until next time, I'll see you then.